British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh. Good afternoon, my name is Sia Forio, and these are your afternoon headlines to 1:30. A 37-year-old woman was shot and killed by the RCMP in Surrey on September 19th. Reporter Emily Deneen explains what happened on the scene.
Vanessa Renteria was a Colombian refugee who came to Surrey to provide a better life for herself and her 18-month-old daughter. While Renteria lived in Surrey, she stayed with her husband and her brother-in-law. There was alleged abuse from the husband, and Renteria asked for help from her friends. Her friends agreed to let her stay with them, and Renteria went to gather her things. Renteria never returned to her friends, and they called the police to check on her. When police arrived to the scene, they learned that Renteria locked herself in the bathroom with her daughter, and she had a knife. Shortly after, 3 bullets were shot at Renteria, and she died on the scene. Emily Deneen, BCIT's The Crow.
After hours of deliberation and public submissions, the Squamish District Council rejected FortisBC's application for a temporary use permit to house workers. Reporter Sophie Hansen has more on the rejection.
The temporary use permit would have allowed for the construction and eventual use of temporary housing by hundreds of local and non-local workers hired by FortisBC. Public submissions were heard, most outlining serious concerns for the community and the environment. Jackie Williams, a Squamish Nation member and advocate, says the rejection of Permit 73 is very promising for the future of Squamish. Williams also urged all levels of government to engage directly with those impacted by proposals like this. Sophie Hansen, BCIT's The Crow.
The Wildlife Rescue Association of BC says it's dealing with dozens of injured birds that hit windows as winter migration season approaches. The association says it has admitted 81 birds that struck windows since August, including 9 nighthawks. It says migrating birds are highly prone to hitting windows because they cannot see glass surfaces. According to the association, birds need to be cared for as soon as possible after striking a window. Around 25 million birds die in Canada each year from hitting glass surfaces, according to the association. A First Nation community in Northern Ontario has Canada's longest boil water advisory at 29 years and counting. Health Director Sharon Sakini says many in the community live with skin and intestinal conditions if they drink the water or shower with it. But she says there's a heavy metal toll too.
I believe a lot of people have mental health issues from the water too, because, it's also stressful because some families don't have, even vehicles to come and pick up water here at the CC.
Sakini says many in the community will never trust the water out of taps, even if it is declared suitable to drink. Defense Minister Bill Blair says the government is working on plans to get Canadians out of Lebanon as the fighting between Israel's military and Hezbollah continues.
We've been working very closely with allies. We've staged and continue to stage resources in order to respond appropriately. We have the appropriate authorities now from the Lebanese government and from some of our regional partners to make sure that we can do what is necessary.
With more people joining online banks, Canadians have seen an increase in options when it comes to online banking. Though many Canadians are still hesitant to bank with an online-only lender that does not have a physical branch or an employee they could speak to face-to-face. Reporter Michelle Zadikian has more on this.
Natasha McMillan of RateHub.ca says a big part of that hesitancy is loyalty to traditional banks, as a large portion of Canadians have been banking with the same lender for their entire lives. Not to mention the paperwork to switch to a new bank may also be daunting. Most online-only banks offer easy access to cash through any bank ATM without charge and can offer higher interest rates on their savings accounts.
These have been your afternoon headlines to 1:30. Sia Forio, BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretnero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.
Good afternoon, I'm Lauren Achille, and this is your sports update to 140.
Point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, Derrick Rose, has announced his retirement today after a 16-year career. He has been with the Grizzlies since 2023 and played for multiple teams before then. He was Rookie of the Year in 2009, playing for the Bulls. Rose made an appearance in 3 All-Star games and became the league's youngest MVP in 2011. Number 1 seed tennis player Jannik Sinner has started defending his China Open title with a win over Nicolas Jarry today. The Italian tennis player lost the first set 4-6, but quickly took over the second and third sets. He will face either wildcard spot Stan Wawrinka or lucky loser Roman Safulin.
Down the inside, Daniel Ricciardo, that is a sensational move again. He came from absolutely nowhere as far as Kimi Räikkönen was concerned.
Daniel Ricciardo, one of the most beloved F1 racers, was released by Red Bull Racing today and will be replaced by Liam Lawson. The 35-year-old racer knew at the Singapore Grand Prix that it was likely his final F1 race. Ricciardo won 8 races over 14 seasons. His final victory was at Monza in 2021 when he won driving for McLaren. The future is uncertain for the racer. The first round of the President's Cup is well underway. The U.S. team is leading in 4 out of the 5 matches today, but keep an eye out for Canadian golfers Corey Connors, Taylor Pendrith, as well as Mackenzie Hughes, who will be fighting for the international team to defeat the U.S. The Oakland A's will be taking the field in Oakland for the last time this afternoon. There is sadness as Oakland says goodbye to its last professional sports team after the departures of the Warriors and Raiders. Alex Stone of ABC News reports.
For the first time in 57 years after today, the Oakland Coliseum won't have a baseball team. For fans who grew up watching the A's in Oakland, like this reporter, it's a sad day. For concession workers, they're saying goodbye to their jobs.
We're all going to miss this place.
Brian Johansson will be at today's game.
If I start talking about it, I'll start crying.
Next season, the A's will play in Sacramento while waiting for a new stadium in Las Vegas. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Neal's got work to do here. She is trying to battle her way back. It is Huss. It is Zhang Yufei. And those two are 1 and 2. And Maggie McNeil is back in third. She came through for third in 56-55.
Canadian Olympic swimmer Maggie McNeil has announced her retirement at the age of 24. The 3-time Olympic medalist and world record holder took it to Instagram to share the news. In the caption, she says she's excited to begin the next chapter of her life and find out who she is outside of swimming. Hockey Canada has seen a decline in the amount of refs at youth levels. Reporter Jacob Fraser explains the effects of this decrease.
According to Hockey Canada, there has been a decline from 33,000 refs to 16,000. With less and less officials on the ice at the youth hockey level, fewer are coming up to the higher levels in the future. Rookie American Hockey League linesman Brad Ewing says it has taken a lot of hard work to get to the higher levels.
It's taken a lot of hard work and a lot of patience. At times I've thought about quitting or just giving up because things haven't really gone the way I wanted it to. But one message always holds true. It's to just dominate the level you're at. So I've always focused on just doing well in whatever level I am, and then the rest will work itself out.
Ewing says he had to persevere through many challenges, feeling like he blew his shot before making it to where he is today. He says he will continue to do so until he reaches his goal of reffing the NHL. Jacob Fraser, BCIT's The Crow.
There are some games to watch later today. In football, the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, and in hockey, the San Jose Sharks will head to the ice against the Anaheim Ducks. This has been your sports update to 140. I'm Lauren Achille, and you're listening to BCIT's The Crow. Thanks for listening.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane.